Hey, guys. Welcome to the Weapon Works podcast. I'm Zach. I'm your host, and I appreciate you guys coming in here with us. Today, I'm joined by a really good friend of mine, Mr. Matt Thynne from Republic Rifle out there in Orange County, California. What's up, dude? How are you?
What's up, Zach?
Oh, not much, man. Not much. For those of you guys that don't know, Matt is just like me. He's a paint monkey. We sling a whole bunch of Cerakote, and here recently, Matt's been slinging some really good looking Cerakote, man. You're
Well,
kind of
thanks.
changing it up with the patterns, dude. That shit looks great, bro.
Thank you, man. Yeah, just trying to keep it fresh, do just something different, separate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If we all do the same fucking thing, what's the point, right?
Right, dude. Right. So, man, tell us a little bit about Republic Rifle, man. Like, what do you guys do? What do you want to be known as? What do you focus on, kind of thing?
Well, I mean, obviously we're primarily a Cerakote shop, and that'll always be our bread and butter, But we'll trying to spread our wings and do a few different things probably this next year, and we're gonna kind of rebrand ourselves a little bit and get away, to get the rifle out of our name. We're gonna go with Rep Riff a lot more this year.
Okay.
You'll see a lot of this.
Nice.
As you know, it makes your life easier. It's hard when you got weapon or rifle in your name for everything.
Oh, definitely. Especially out there in California, you probably catch some ugly looks wearing a rifle shirt, don't you?
I gotta go for sure. Yeah, I gotta vet people just to figure out if I can tell them what I do for a living. What do you do? Oh, I paint metal shit.
Yeah. Yeah. On Google, on my Google account, it says metal finisher. It don't say anything about guns or nothing. It's a motherfucking shame that we're ostracized when we're doing everything 100% legal.
Yeah.
Complete. It's legit easier to sell fucking drug paraphernalia online than it is to sell guns.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So. Well, man, how did Republic get started, man? Where did the idea come from? What were you doing before and all?
I mean, if we're gonna go rewind it all the way back, it would go. I grew up, and my dad held an FFL before I was born.
Okay.
So he did gun shows and that kind of stuff, and we lived in the Midwest. I lived in Iowa. I was born in Iowa and Nebraska, and then back to Iowa actually. So when I was a kid, every weekend we spent in the car going to a different gun show. And then he was also the Winchester rep for Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota. And so we'd go to different gun stores every weekend, setting up displays, or basically there's a reason for him to go to different gun shops and bullshit with dudes and buy guns and sell guns. It was just, so that's my, that was my life as a kid. I had just always kind of been in the gun business because of my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then moved to California. He went and started a couple other businesses. The gun thing kind of didn't, fell by the wayside a little bit. He kept his FFL the entire time though. And then he started a shop eventually called Ivory Beads. And it was, he sold, if you're into super nice shotguns, fine shotguns, double rifles, Parkers, Parazzis, and things like that, you might have known that shop. They were pretty well known for that kind of stuff. And he did that for a long time until he just retired. And so anyway, I got into, I always thought, not that shit ain't cool. It's really, really cool. I've grown to appreciate it more as I gotten older. But, I got into all the tactical stuff, like buddy's got an AR and I went and shot it. And then I was hooked. And then long story short, I wanted to get something Cerakoted. And it ended up being some sort of weird drug deal. Met a guy in a parking lot and gave him my lowers, and you know what I mean. He's writing an invoice on the back of his truck, and I was like, "This is there's a market here for this. There's no one around here doing it, so just started doing it. And just like everybody else, we were doing it in the garage for a while and got better and better. Cerakoted my guns and my buddy's guns, and then got an FFL of my own. And next thing you know, here we are.
Nice. It's pretty cool hearing how everybody kind of gets started with Cerakote. Everybody has their own different way of getting started, in this business. I'm really close to a bunch of Cerakote guys, and it's like we all had really weird different backgrounds before we came into this bullshit. It's
oh yeah, totally
cool. So Matt, what kind of struggles did you have, starting a FFL business here in California, man? What kind of shit do you have to go through?
Well, yeah, California's a nightmare, man. So you apply for an FFL and you get it. And first of all, we were one of the, like, or I wouldn't say one of the, but we were in that last year that they even allowed home-based FFLs.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were lucky in that part. But once you even get that, you still have like all these, you have to get the city license, state shit. Like, it's just one thing after another. And it's expensive, time consuming. I mean, there's a lot of hoops to jump through. It's stupid. You have to get a California firearms thing. You have to get COE. Like, there's just a ton of shit.
Well, I've talked to you several times, man. We can call it Republic Rifle Weapon Works. You're more than welcome to move here to North Carolina, man. There's a place for you.
I'm definitely going to move out of the state, I think, in the next, probably in the next year or so. Like, it's just they're making it too hard to do business. It's silly, And with all these gun laws passing, and Newsom is coming in, like, you're gonna be lucky if you can own a damn Nerf gun in this state. I mean,
so what's on your list? Where's places to move?
Arizona's probably going to be it. It's close enough that we can still come visit family here and friends, and still drive here in a day. Mm-hmm. And they have the best gun laws in the country, really.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's still, there's, Phoenix and those areas, there's still metropolitan areas. And so we're not completely, coming from Los Angeles area to move to some, I probably wouldn't mind it. The old lady probably, she probably wouldn't dig living in a tiny little town too much. But
see, I'm just the complete opposite, man. I spent a couple of years out there in California in the Marine Corps, and oh my goodness, man, it's such a big difference. The town I'm from here in North Carolina, there's probably more cows than there are people in that town.
Really?
Oh yeah, I grew up in a little bitty, tiny podunk town, man. And so big cities scare me. I'm not too big on them. California was a real culture shock. Y'all's 9 lanes on each side of the highway and shit. Yeah. Crazy, man.
It's a rainy day. You should see these fuckers try to drive in the rain. It's fucking hilarious.
Hell, I think in 2 years it only rained like 5 or 6 times, it seemed, when I was there.
Oh, yeah. It don't rain that much.
It's a damn shame the laws out there are like they are, because it really is a beautiful place, man. It really.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And it sucks because it's well, I mean, I guess anywhere, it's these little areas in California, Los Angeles and now San Francisco, with the Silicon Valley and shit, that screws it up for the entire state.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the states, there's a shit ton of gun owners here, and there's all that kind of stuff. And those little areas screw it up for the rest of the state. And it just sucks because it's a beautiful state. It's it's huge. You go up north and it's gorgeous.
Oh
the
yeah,
redwoods and all that stuff.
Yeah. I still want to go to the redwood forest one of these days. I want to drive to a tree, man.
It's bitching. We did it a couple times. It's so beautiful up there.
Nice.
Southern Oregon, Washington. Yeah, it's all bitching.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. So, so you're growing. I mean, you guys, you're just kind of you're blowing up the past couple of years, man. Now, I'm starting to see your photos of your work everywhere. I'm starting to see Republic Rifle a whole lot more these days, man. What could you pinpoint like one moment or one thing that happened to where you blew up, or is it just kind of a consistency, just keep rolling kind of thing, and it's finally?
I think it's kind of a little of both, right? You know what I mean? It's like you're an instant 5-year success,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just, keeping at it. And then I think there was a little bit of the perfect storm of, I came up with, a bunch of new camo, and a few light bulbs went off in my head, and I started doing some things that no one else was doing. And at the same time, my photography stuff got really cool, and I think it was like kind of a little perfect storm of that. And then I was already talking with Aero at that point, and then we started doing some Aero builder sets. And as you do Aero builder set, you kind of made it to the big leagues, and then everyone else knows that you can do stuff like that. You can handle stuff like that.
Once we started doing some work with Arrow, man, I was amazed at the offshoot work that came in. You know,
Yeah,
people
yeah,
see that you can handle production with Arrow. They're a whole lot easier about sending you, you know, large orders and trusting you a little bit more. Um,
yeah, absolutely.
that's a big deal that really helped us out. So
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I,
I still remember when I told you I got the first one. You said, and it was last year in December. Is this time last year we were spraying
yeah,
that
that's
first
right.
real big one? And I told you I got it, and you said, "All right, you need to cancel Thanksgiving and cancel Christmas." And I laughed, but I fucking canceled Thanksgiving and canceled Christmas pretty
Oh,
much.
oh man, you had to.
Yeah,
You gotta fucking do it, man. It's crazy. And you know, you see a lot of I hate to say smaller shops because my shop's not that big, and I'm sure your shop's not big,
no, yeah, well, it's
gigantic.
not huge. About
Um,
2,000 square feet.
so I hate to say smaller shops, but you know, shops that aren't doing quite as much volume. You know, a lot of these guys they're wanting this large work like this. They don't realize what's involved when semi trucks pull up with pallets full of parts, right?
Exactly. You know, yeah, we always say, be careful what you wish for. Like you're
Hmm.
gonna when 300-400 rifles show up, and that's 1,200 parts. That's a lot of fucking work, man. You
No,
spray all day, and you turn around, and somebody's been sandblasting all day, and that rack you just went through, and you thought you did something, just filled right back up.
yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
You're like, God
It's,
damn.
it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Nope, me either,
Trade it
man.
for the world. So you know where do you see Republic Rifle coming up here soon, man? Where do you see what's your goals, man? What do you see the company becoming?
I want to keep going with the production work. I see doing a lot more of that, but the robot, I want one of those, man. I
You
just
want a
feel like
robot?
I want a robot. I want it the robot painting whatever it is, widgets all day long, and just taking the rack out, putting a new one in, you know.
The only thing that scares me about the robot is, you know, it's going to be kind of like the laser, right? So just a few years ago, lasers, you know, you couldn't find a laser for less than 50, 60,000 dollars, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now you can find a decent fiber laser for 15, 16,000 bucks.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm just wondering if that robot technology, if it's gonna get down like that to make, you know, because those fucking robots are 100 grand, man. I wonder if
No,
they're
yeah.
gonna make it more accessible to everyone, and then turn the robot work into a race to the bottom. It makes me wonder about that.
You could be right. You could be right. I think we got a few years before that happens, though, if
Mhm.
it does happen. And I mean, if you get in early, you'd be the first one racing to the bottom, I guess. I mean, there's the robot's cool and everything, but it's never going to replace the. You can't do camos and stuff with it,
Oh yeah.
like
Oh, dude, as long as they don't make a robot to put on stencils, I'm cool. I'll be really
exactly.
pissed if they come out with that.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So, you know, Matt wants a robot. Well, I kind of want a robot too. I don't know if I want a robot just to have a robot or if I actually want to use one, but it is very cool watching those in the booth in the shop.
No, man, yeah. Well, when I was getting certified at Cerakote, I've told you this story, but they were dialing the whole thing in for a demo like the next day after I
Mhm.
was leaving. That thing was bitching, man. It was just going through lowers and uppers and blah 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 all day long.
And dude, you take them off and then you look at the parts. It's just perfect.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Perfect. And you know, all of this stuff we're doing, you know, it's still hand sprayed. You know,
Yeah,
as careful as you can be, you know, you're
you're
still
human.
going to have something happen every now and again, or have a
Sure.
little trash come through your gun and have to redo stuff. But that fucking robot was just perfect. It was
Yep.
beautiful.
Yep.
So, uh, we were talking about photography earlier, man. Are you the guy that takes and edits all those photos?
I am. I do it all now.
Dude,
Um,
your photography is fucking top notch, man. It's killer.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. I
Um,
mean, I still consider myself a hobbyist at best. You know what I mean?
mhm.
I've learned from my buddy DJ's Guns. He's if anybody's on Instagram, check him out. But he's a professional photographer
Mhm.
and a good friend of mine. and he showed me the way. If without him, it would have taken me a lot longer to figure all this stuff out. And I'm still not a photographer, but I feel like I'm doing okay at it, you know?
No, yeah, I can vouch for you on that. This shit looks really, really good.
Thanks, man.
So, yeah, everybody's starting to know you for Callahan Cam. So,
Yeah.
where'd you come up with that idea, man?
Yeah. So I was doing a rifle for Dirty Harry.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, he loves woodland, as most people know. So we were thinking, let's do a woodland. And then he's like, you know, you got anything you know new that you're, you know, whatever. Let's try to do something. And then I had done the Callahan pattern in different colors, and then it clicked in my head. I was like, let's use woodland colors.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. I do it. I peeled off as soon as I was peeling off the stencils, I was like, that's the one, you know, that's it. Yeah. It's one of those moments. And I peeled it off and I sent him a quick, you know, iPhone pic of it. And he was like, holy shit. And Callahan is in the movies that's Dirty Harry's real name is Officer Callahan or Detective Callahan. And it just rang. So Callahan Cam. So that's where it took off, man.
Nice. Now yeah. I really like that pattern, man. I like the guys who are coming out with their own original stuff. I think that's very cool. Very cool. And there's only a handful of them.
That's very true.
Don't want to name any names, but you know, I much respect for that. I really like that shit. Very, very good looking. And the other one, the weed camo that you did, that shit,
oh man,
that shit
was funny.
awesome though. So Matt, how old are you, man?
I am just turned 43, believe it or not. Most people think I'm a lot younger. I look a lot younger, I guess, until I grow this out and I start to get the little white in there. But
yeah,
if I shave this off, I look like I'm 12.
So you could go back and you tell 18-year-old Matt something. What would you tell the dude?
You know what? I don't think I'd change. You know, I could tell him a whole bunch of shit, but I know 18-year-old Matt, and he probably would have just said, fuck you. And to be honest, man, like all the mistakes you make in your youth and all that kind of stuff, it shapes you for who you are now, right? You know, it builds that character. I don't think I'd probably tell him anything. I'm pretty happy, you know, with who I am and where I'm at now, you know?
Yeah.
And I've had a pretty cool life. I got a lot of great friends and yeah, I'd probably just, I wouldn't tell him much.
Well, that's good. That's good, man. It's always cool when you look back and there's no kind of regrets or nothing you would change. So that's cool, man. What like if you could tell someone who wanted to get into the gun industry or wanted to start their own business, whether it's Cerakote or whether it's a gun shop, you got any advice for anybody?
Yeah, run. Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. It's just, you just gotta, I mean, you talk about it a lot in your IG story and stuff. You gotta persevere. There's going to be a million obstacles. You could quit a million different times. You just got to sack up and go through it and figure it out. And it's, you know, being a business owner, you're a problem solver, you know, like, and that's it. You just got to if you want your business to be successful, you got to work your fucking ass off. You got to sacrifice doing fun shit a lot of times and give everything you have to it if you really want it to be successful, you know.
That's why we go all out at Circle Bar, right?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta blow off some steam once in a while, right?
Nice.
Yeah, so it's just, you just gotta persevere. You just gotta keep going, man. That's all it really is.
Yeah. So what you got any new ideas for camo coming out? You got anything cool?
You know, I always got something here and there. You know, Jeff Carson and those guys, they always want me to, hey, what do you got new? What do you got new? That's the downside of creating new camos is everyone's like, hey, invent me a camo, you know, like, oh yeah, show me, just pull that out of my ass, you know. But you know, I got some new stuff in the works. There's always something new going on in my little pea brain.
Dude, it's tough coming up with new shit all the fucking time, man. It really is. It really is.
If you think about it, we're limited. We have a limited palette as well. You know, we're working with. It's not like we're working with all these crazy colors. You know, we're working with earth tones, and we're maybe some grays and things like that, but it's not a huge palette. And so to be coming up with new things, it's difficult.
Yeah. And this is something that just come about this year, if I'm not mistaken, fix me. But you just started, your old lady started coming in and helping around the shop, right?
She did. She's been helping out a lot around here. She's getting us organized, and she does all the shipping. So that'll help. She's much better at that than me. People get their shit, and it's just a bunch of tape all over the place. That was me. I hate that shit.
Yeah, they're more organized than us.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's been great, man. Like, some people, they're like, oh, you don't want your girl to come work with you, and that'll be a nightmare. It's really not. Like, you and I have had this conversation a bit. Mm-hmm. And you feel like you're in it together, and then they start to feel like they're a part of the company, because they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, she's gonna take that shit if she leaves you anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. No shit.
So,
especially in this state.
So, Matt, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, man. Let's hear your social media and website and.
It's website's real easy. RepublicRifle.com. Social media, same thing. Republic Rifle. Or Republic Rifle on Facebook and Instagram. So it's universal across any of them. You can find our phone number, all that stuff. There's, you can email us from there, info@reprif.com. And yeah, that's about it, brother.
Nice. And for all you guys listening out there, you guys know that Weapon Works, us, me, we are a Cerakote shop, but this is one of the fucking guys that if I did not do this for a living, or if I had to get someone to do my rifle, it would be going to Matt. Matt is definitely high up on my list, guys. So if you're not familiar with his work, you need to go check his shit out. He does some fucking unique, beautiful shit. And, he's a pretty cool dude.
Thanks, bud.
So much love, dude. I love you to death.
I'm back at you, brother.
But look, guys, I appreciate everybody coming in here, the Weapon Works podcast. As always, likes, subscribes, all of that shit, guys. I really appreciate it. If you get a chance, you're listening to it in the audio version, leave me a fucking review. It would really help me out. I would really appreciate it. And, me and Matt, we're going to get off of here and talk a little bit more. But, guys, thank you so much for joining. Matt, thanks for being here with me, brother. I really appreciate it, man. All right, guys. Everybody have a wonderful day. We'll see you guys later.